Richter Lasanti, visiting as a representative of Phalis, announced in the month of Oceano that the White Fang troops of Ranunculus had withdrawn from Anser. Although the plans of the Batrals and their troops were never discovered, since they had retreated, the issue was assumed to have been resolved. For the time being, the Order of the Sacred Flame was stationed in Scabellum, preparing to return to Phalis. Meanwhile, after meeting with the Golden Mermaid, Berevra, Alphonse, and Eleanor rejoined Sybil. Alphonse and the others were stationed at Formido, the former stronghold of the troops of Ranunculus, researching the history of the spear. The Batrals have a long history on the island. They rose to power after the war with the Mermaids and relocated to the northern part of the island. It would come as no surprise if the heirs of the Batrals knew of the sacred spear. The island's stormy season was quickly coming to an end, and it would soon be replaced by calmer autumn weather.
Is that true? Richter's heading north.
It's true. We know he took a few subordinates with him and headed to Naja. But we don't know his purpose or current location. As for the rest of his troops, it seems that they'll be returning to Phalis as soon as the ship comes.
He must be acting on his own. That means Phalis was also looking for the spear.
Yes, Richter admitted as much. He said his troops had a different mission from the beginning. But how much does the Church of Lodis really know?
Since we have no way of knowing the true power of the spear, all I can do for now is make assumptions. If the Duke of Phalis obtains the spear and doesn't hand it over to the Church, it's possible that the Church elders will send troops to arrest him for treason.
Then, a war is sure to start. We can't afford to have internal conflict. That will leave Ovis defenseless to an outside invasion.
It only takes a small spark to start a flame. The Duke may have already learned of our presence on this island. I'm sure he's been doing his research, but if we can get the spear first, then it's over for him. Because of the Church, he's had to do his treasure hunting in secret.
If the White Fang troops hadn't invaded the south, then the Duke of Phalis couldn't have sent his troops here. That means...
Dispatching you here could have been part of the plan. The Lord of Ranunculus and the Duke of Phalis may have been in communication with each other. It's a possibility.
But then, some things don't make sense. If they were cooperating, why was I captured at Formid, and why would Richter follow the White Fang troops to Iridella? I think the Duke of Phalis and the Lord of the North are pursuing different goals, but we don't have enough information to be certain. Ivana, can you offer any insight?
I've never heard anything about a sacred spear. But I do recall a story about a family member who fell in love with a mermaid 400 years ago. He supposedly cut ties with our family and ran away with her.
Was his name Lucius?
Maybe. He was considered a coward because of his fear of war that we hardly talked to him. So, I don't remember much.
If a member of the Batral family had a relationship with Berevra, then it's no surprise that they know about the sacred spear.
There's one other thing that we can't forget. 15 years ago, when William Batral passed away due to illness, his brother Naris succeeded him. So, which Batral was the Duke in contact with? William or Naris? And is Richter just doing as his father told him to? Either way, the information we have gained from Berevra only gives us a small advantage over them.
I haven't told anyone about the sacred spear. Not even you. Eleanor has been with me the whole time, so I'm sure she hasn't either. I plan to keep my promise to Berevra.
Don't worry about it. But sitting around will get us nowhere. Do we have any new information?
We've learned that there are survivors secretly living in Blatt, the village that was burned down during the Reformation. Perhaps they know something useful. Also, there's a skilled spellcaster living by the ruins north of Tenea. If we can convince him to assist us, it would surely be to our advantage. But we heard that he's an unusual fellow.
Maybe Richter had a different purpose for going north. Let's head that way for the time being. Everybody get ready!
Heading north? Through the Naja forest?
Yes. The shrine on the beach where Berevra hid the spear. The report about Richter going to Naja. The mysterious death of the former Lord William and the reformation of Lodicism 15 years ago. Every clue points to Ranunculus.
The north side of the forest is very different from this side. There, it starts snowing at the end of fall, and the ground is unusually covered with deep snow. Do you still want to go there?
I can't just sit here and do nothing. I need to find out what Richter's been scheming.
You know, I'm not very anxious to go there. Alphonse, I don't think you could ever understand how scary it was escaping from the forest. It was so dark, and I got lost many times. I hate snow. Snow is so cold and harsh, and it hides everything in existence.
Eleanor, you're not alone anymore. But if you really don't want to come, you can stay behind.
That's even worse. I'm sorry, Alphonse. Sorry for being so selfish. I know I've said this before, but I don't want to be a burden. I want to be strong so I can fight by your side. Alphonse, I want to be acknowledged as a soldier. I want to be your comrade.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. With us being together, I guess I took things for granted.
You don't have to understand everything all at once. Just little by little.
Let's go together, Eleanor.
Thank you, Alphonse. Please watch over me.
Hey guys, we're back. Let's get this show on the road, shall we?
Fight it out.
The souls of the dead are gathering here. We can't afford to stay long.
At this point in the game, on the other route, I went after Elric first. So this time, we're going to do something different and go after Fair first to see if anything changes. I figure some dialogue has to change, but I'm super curious to find out. But before we can reach her, we need to get through this small battle against the undead here. It's actually a pretty simple fight. The biggest challenge is defeating all of them at the same time. I'm just going to quickly set up some equipment because I want to test out Ariel's efficiency on the battlefield. She'll be able to use this river that cuts through the stage to boost her mermaid powers.
Ghosts who wander the darkness must return to your resting place.
Something interesting is that a lot of people who play this game and face this battle don't really understand why there are undead enemies on this map. The explanation is pretty cool. At the beginning of the game, we see Lodis invading the island and setting everything on fire, right? Thinking about it now, seems like they always do that, huh? Anyway, back to the point. The enemies in this mission are the souls of those characters who died in the destruction of that village and are being controlled and manipulated. This undead army here was also why Richter couldn't join Alphonse in the castle siege they had planned at the start of the game. Apparently, his army encountered the undead and retreated. So you see, the whole story is interconnected and makes sense in the game's narrative. Great job by the writers. The good news is that these undead are pretty weak, and they're defeated really fast. There's no big secret to this battle. If we had Eleanor with her special power, we could already do some serious damage. But unfortunately, she only awakens that in the last battles of the game. Unless you're super dedicated to training, which I am not. Wow, the way dodging works here reminds me of the original Tactics Ogre, before they messed up that whole system, making any kind of positioning, accuracy points, and dodging useless in favor of having more chances to hit. The reason I'm not bringing our witch into this battle, even though she's a character I really like to use in my group, is that undead are immune to her charm attack. So she'd be pretty useless without her main move. Only pure attack will be able to defeat them here. Alphonse is starting to turn into a relentless battle machine. It wasn't expected that these mages would cause problems. I need to take them out first. Ariel is super weak. Or maybe it's just a problem with me. There must be some way to use her more efficiently in battles. If anyone knows, please comment below. Mermaids are so cool, but I just can't play well with them. Another one defeated. How did he dodge that magic when there was no way that could happen? It was a good hit, but I still thought it was too weak. Do zombies actually take damage from healing magic around here? What? In just one round and he's already back? That's pretty unfair. He must have heard me say the undead are weak and wanted to show off. Alright, I like it when they're lined up. Time to unleash the power of the trident. Still, the damage is very reduced. She's not a viable unit to have in the group with this power level. Let's hope they don't start reviving, because then we're almost done here. I think one more round is enough to finish them off. We're in luck. They didn't get up quickly. Great. Now we just need to end this. Just choose who's going to deliver the final blow and get some good experience for leveling up. And the problem is finally solved. Even earned a Centurion title. God, that brings me back memories of Ogre Battle 64.
The Forest of the Dead. Dawn is still a long way off.
We'll continue the gameplay tomorrow, everyone. See you there.